Everybody talks podcast. Everybody talks. Uh, 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 podcast brought to you by Amanda Nasinyama. Welcome to Everybody Talks. Yay, we did it. I am so excited to be having my first episode and thank you for being here. My name is Amanda Nasinyama and I am a creative, an advocate, an activist, a lover of joy, and I love spaces where I can grow, where I can share, where I can learn, unlearn, and become. And it's why I created this space for people like me, for women, for anyone who feels like they can see themselves in the stories that we will share here, for you to find community, for you to learn and grow. So I'm very excited to finally be here on Everybody Talks and launching it. So yeah, I thought that the first episode we would focus on just getting to know me and what this podcast is going to be about. Talk about when we'll be dropping episodes, will we be having guests, that we'll be interviewing, things like that. And also to, I think, just give a space for you all to subscribe, share, comment, because this is on YouTube as well. And yeah, just to continue creating this community. Um, so let's get into who I am and why this podcast exists. There's nothing I don't want to use the H word, but describing myself has always been such a challenge. In a professional setting, it's very easy because you focus on your professional career, on your professional journey, and that's just a piece of me. But when it's who are you, it's who am I, what am I? But yeah, like I said, Amanda, so I grew up in Uganda, was born in Mulago Hospital in April of 1990. So I'm a millennial. I turned 35 this year. I know I look so young. Oh, I know. Anyway, I'm embracing my age, so it's fine. I'm 35 and very proud of it, and I thank God for getting to this age. I have three amazing brothers. I have two wonderful parents, thank God, and I have a wonderful partner that I currently live with. Currently, in the future, who knows? But no, I have a wonderful partner that I truly, 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 truly love and adore. And I have amazing friends and family who have been with me, for a very long time, and I make new friends as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about my family and kind of relationship side, but very briefly. I did all my education and spent most of my life in Uganda. So went to Makerere, what was it called? Makerere Hill Kindergarten for my Ali school life. Went to Kampala Parents Primary School. I actually started at Kololo. What was it called? Kololo Primary School. One of those, yeah, that one. And then went to Kampala Parents. And then for high school, went back to Makerere College because my whole life was around Makerere. And then went to Makerere University for my bachelor's degree. So yeah, I spent most of my life in and around Makerere, and my dad worked at the university, so it kind of made sense. And I'm very fond of Makerere in general. So shout out to Makerere. Woohoo! And then when I did that, after undergrad, when I did my bachelor's, I went to LDC. So I'm a lawyer by profession. I went to LDC. When I got done with LDC, I was like, I don't want to practice. My goal has always been to be in human rights and advocacy. So I ended up applying to do my master's at a law school in the US. Went there in 2016 to Philly. Did my graduate school, my master's in law, and then got like my first. It wasn't my first job. It was like my second job working with an international organization. Was in Kenya for a year, and then moved to the U.S., specifically New York. Um, to work with that international organization for a few years and then transition into something else that I'm in right now. So I say all this to say it's like a very big me leaving Uganda, right, and having these different experiences was made such a huge impact on my life. And the reason is this: I grew up as a fat kid, and because I was a fat kid, unfortunately, I was teased a lot when I was young. And these were like my formative years, right? 10, 11, 12. Your teen years where you're like exploring yourself, like a lot of hormones and, figuring out, your body and all these other things. And so experiencing that and having all those insecurities as a child made me really turn inward. I was so insecure and scared to be seen that I like retreated into that background. Like that was my comfort zone. And it kind of still is, even if I'm trying to like push myself out there. Um, but yeah, that was my comfort zone. I retreated into myself, but I was able to like perform for like society and for people, right? I showed up with my friends, I would laugh, I was very loud. I still do that because I genuinely also enjoy being joyful and having fun. But it was a way for me to like also protect myself. If everybody likes you, then nobody can tease you, right? At least that's what my brain thought. Um, and so I was very too nice and like really trying to be nice to everybody and like performing and being the person that just showed up all the time. Um, but again, I was still hiding. So when I left Uganda, girl, I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide. I left my comfort zone. And I remember in grad school, I was so shocked when the professors were like, you have to make a presentation. What? Why? Why do I have to talk? Like, public speaking has never been my strongest suit. I don't even know English words. I write really well, but I don't know how to speak. So that was like really throwing me in the deep end. And then when I had to look for a job and I actually had to talk to people, and then I got into work where in order for you to like move forward or to progress, you need to be seen. And that's true for any place, any workplace, anywhere in the world. Um, Uganda, anywhere. We need to learn the skills on how to be seen in the workplace. And we'll have an episode about that. But yeah, I couldn't hide like this. You could do, I was doing such great work in the background, but that's just on paper. If people don't see you, they don't hear you, they forget that you're there sometimes, right? Um, and so I had to learn that, hey, your voice is important, Amanda. So I've just had various experiences like that that have fortunately forced me to be the person that I am becoming today. And actually to be able to talk to you today, like actually in front of a camera. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I think I'm a person that, like I said, I enjoy being joyful and happy and cracking jokes. I love dancing. If you follow me on Everybody UG, you will see that most of the videos I posted have me dancing in them. Um, I love expressing myself. I love movies, right? I could sit and watch TV all day if I could. I really would. Like just different movies. And television, right? I love music. I What else do I enjoy? I try to read. I used to be an avid reader, and then I got into reading for work and doing all the things, and I just was like, So I try to listen to podcasts sometimes, and I try to read, but I'm not as avid as a reader as I used to be. Um, who else am I? I am a sister. wife, a friend, um, yeah, I don't know, so many things. So does that answer who I am? I don't know. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. And I didn't want to give like a whole professional like background thing because again, I feel like a lot of times we're tied to who we are professionally versus who we are as people, right? We're so much more than our job. So I hope I weave that in the right way. But anyway, why does this podcast exist? It stems a lot from my experiences. I think as women, especially women, although this podcast again is for everybody who feels like they can see themselves in the stories that we will share. But I feel that as women growing up in our society, unfortunately, we have been taught and again things have changed, right? There's been a lot of like progress and women are now in like public spaces, have been taking up space, but I think things are changing. Things have changed. It feels like a regression that's happening, and all of a sudden I think we're afraid to like show up as our full selves, and that once again society is telling us who we need to be. And I have been fighting that all of my life because I feel like people have told me exactly who they want me to be and put me in like, this is your box. You're the good friend. You're the nice person. You're the nice sister, the nice, mm, partner. You're the nice worker at work, or you're. And I think that the reason why I created this podcast is really, it's about us having a space for storytelling, for reflection, us being real. It's a bit for women who are trying to figure out how to take up space. Because it took me such a long time to take up space, and I'm still working on it. I'm not there. It's for women who are healing. It's for women who are trying to figure out how to take up space in their bodies, in their relationships, in their purpose. Woo. And it's especially for my Ugandan sisters because I know the culture that we grew up in, and I understand all the things that kind of like hold us back sometimes, and people's opinions, and our families, and our aunties and uncles, and everything. And this is your space, and we're going to be honest. And I think something that is so important, and why I shared the whole my journey of living Uganda. I think sometimes when we get to experience something different, when we see others doing something different or living life in a way that has not always been taught to us to live, we're like, maybe I don't have to follow this path. Maybe there's different ways for me to exist, and I can allow myself to exist in those ways. That's why I think representation is so important. That's why I think it's important to see people like us, people who've had similar experiences, actually be represented in the media and have these conversations. So that's why everybody is here. We will talk about confidence, body positivity, mental health, careers, relationships, right? A lot of things that today we are facing, media, pop culture, and how it affects what we do, politics. Because you know what? Everything is political. Everything. And we cannot be, I don't think in this time that we're living, we can, that we have the luxury to be like, no, I'm not into politics. Everything is politics. Everything. So yeah, this is that space for you. And I hope that you feel that it is a space that allows you to grow, to learn, and maybe challenge you in ways. I know I will be challenged like I'm still figuring out a lot in my life. So yeah. um so what to expect? So I kind of give you an overview of like my life, and while I will be sharing a lot that I have learned, I will have boundaries. There's things that I think are off topic for me because I want to have my own personal life. So I will not be sharing everything with you all. I think social media sometimes is it's a great place to learn, but it can be very toxic. And I don't need people's opinions in my life, except what I share. That's okay. You can share your opinion. And I'm really hoping that this is more of a positive space and that people are not going to be negative, but I am also preparing myself. But let's try and keep it positive in this comments, or if there's something I say that you don't like, something I say that you don't agree with, girl, write to me. It is fine. Post it. But let's be respectful. I will always listen. I know I'm not above criticism. I definitely have been someone who has struggled with feedback, but in this era, I am doing my best to like be like, girl, you're not perfect, and I am not. So, share your thoughts. It's okay. um and I just want to be intentional, really. So you'll hear stories, reflections, a few confessions, and a lot of truth, but also growth and laughter and hope because that's who I am. Okay, so what's next? I will be sharing episodes weekly. Oh, so I need to tell you how this podcast is going to go. So I will be having guests, yay! And thanks to my friends and people that I've connected with who already are who want to be on part of the podcast, there's a wealth of knowledge that's coming to you. A wealth of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful knowledge. I have met some amazing people in my life who have helped me tremendously to show up how you see me today. And so I'm so excited for you to like tap into their own experiences. I'm going to be interviewing folks. I might have one or two or a few other episodes where it's just me speaking, but I really want to get into interviewing people and sharing that. I think that will be more interesting, right? It will be a visual podcast, so I'll be posting on YouTube on this page, but I will also be posting on um I'll also publish it on Spotify as well if you have Spotify. I haven't yet checked Apple Music, but we'll see. If I can, I'll post it there. So everywhere I find podcasts, I'll try to do my best to post that there. We will be dropping episodes weekly on a Friday. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So please again subscribe, like, and leave a comment. But also subscribe so that you can always get a notification once we post episodes. And like, yeah, if you want to be on this podcast, hit me up. My email is in the description below, so very much so write to me, or if you have any other thoughts, if you have feedback, or if you think I should try different things, girl, it's cool, tell me. What else? Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for pressing play today, for joining me. I hope I made you laugh a little bit, or just like kind of think about something. I hope that um thank you for pressing play today. Thank you for joining me, for listening to me. This means so much to me. It means a lot to me. For me to get to this point where I'm having a conversation and posting this on YouTube, it's such a big deal for me because I don't want to get emotional, but the fear of being seen, the fear of being perceived, that fear has ruled my life for a very long time. And so me doing this is very scary. And but I have had this need, this passion of mine to to have this space. And I'm hoping that it changes our lives. Not just me, but you as well. So Let's keep talking. Let's grow. Let's unlearn. Let's learn together and let's become. And I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Everybody talks, yeah.
Love is in the air tonight. I am yours, so hold me tight. Love is in the